do you think that employer branding makes a big difference in talent acquisition and attracting the right talent for the right job? And what must companies do to have a good, strong employer branding?
This is the crux of the session, I think, the first question itself. So let me start with a simple example. So we all believe that our first impression is our attire when we go out. It could be our professional meetings or any personal functions and all. We give a lot of importance to our attire, right? So our attire should increase our confidence levels at any point of time. That's where I believe it's not just to impress others, but to increase the confidence and elevate our persona. Okay, so for that attire, we definitely purchase. We search whether it is online purchase or offline purchase, and we look at the fabric, the colors, whether it is the designs or contemporary or combination of traditional and Western wear or not. As per our requirement, we give a lot of importance because the attire that we wear, it builds our brand, right? According to the situation, right? So that's a simple analogy that I correlate with the employer branding. So if a candidate has to join an organization, means for 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000, whatever, for the dress itself, we do a lot of research. We don't just buy like that. But for a person to invest a career in that organization, whoever it is, whether he comes with a background of engineering or some other graduation or any position, it could be entry level or a senior manager level. So the branding of the employer is a very important thing, right? I believe that one. So it is the trust that the employer creates in the market to attract the candidates. So I believe that's the main point is the trust, and that employer branding elevates the brand of the organization. Okay. So in one way, it is a differentiation between the other organizations. I mean, other organizations mean the competitor organizations, and it varies with your unique value propositions that you build. It could be the culture of the organization, or it could be the CTC and perks are something different, which everyone looks at. But what is the value that the candidate would be gaining by joining that organization? What is the career graph that he or she is going to get when he or she joins that organization? And what is the mission and values of the organization? How they are personally aligned to the candidates' views, ideologies, thoughts. So all these things brings together the unique value proposition for the organization, and that's the core of the employer branding. And I believe this is what attracts a candidate to join in any organization. That's what I feel.
Thank you so much, Anitha, for sharing that. I really like the words that you used in terms of employee value proposition. And it is not only about the employee, once the candidate, attracting the candidate even much before he or she becomes the employee, and creating that impact so that they become a good employee within the firm.
Yeah. Yes.
I really liked how you shared that. Thank you so much for that answer. What are the strategies that you have implemented for both candidate engagement and employee engagement? Since I see that you put a lot of emphasis on the need for engagement with candidates, or post-offer engagement is what they call right now.
You have attracted a candidate. I mean, in my language, you want that candidate to join you for any skill, and okay, and it starts with the first call that your talent acquisition person or a recruiter makes a call. What is the pitch that he or she is giving in one way to say, in marketing the JD?
Correct.
Or in marketing the about the value of the organization. Okay, and how he will build the career, and what is the career graph in, for the particular role. So all these things play a very key role for attracting a candidate and nurturing the interview process. It's not just that one. So post follow-up with the candidate and coordinating with the other hiring managers for the next level of the interviews, and lot of things would be including CTC negotiations, background verifications, and all these things. And the other thing is, even when the candidate is not selected, it's not just the regret email, automated regret email that we will be sending. But when you have traveled with a candidate for a week's time in nurturing the candidate and scheduling the interview process and all, there would be a small relation that would be built between the that HR or a talent acquisition person and the candidate. Okay, so it is always right way. I would not say it is a better, but it is always a right way why the candidate profile is not shortlisted. So for which reason, how he can improve his skills for the role that he is looking at. Maybe after 2 years, he could be a prospective employee in the organization if he or she applies again, right? Or if he really understands why his profile got rejected, he may refer somebody else from the similar industry who can add value for the role and who can be your next prospective candidate who onboards you. So that personalized conversation will take a lot of elevation for a talent acquisition person to build their brand, as well as that reputation carries to the organization also. Correct. So that is one thing that I see as a thing, pre-hiring branding that we can do it. And apart from this, you asked for the engagement of the candidates post-hiring. So yes, as we were talking, likewise, the time between the hiring and releasing the offer and the candidate joining. So the time, whether it is 30 days notice period, or sometimes for some crucial roles, it could be 90 days also. So how do you engage the candidate? How do you follow up with the candidate? It may start with understanding if he has submitted resignation in his organization or not, or it can go with something like sending a personalized wishes to the candidate on WhatsApp, or wishing him on his birthday or something. These kind of things, that is one kind of engagement that happens. And sometimes you could also talk about the role importance. So if there is any event that is scheduled in the mid of the joining time and all, you can invite him. Hey, can you be part of this event? We want to see you, so that you can understand how we conduct these kind of things. And you can also meet some of our key team members in the organization at that time. So that kind of engagement also gives a great impact to the candidate, and you get confidence also. Okay, this candidate is trustable, that even after 90 days notice period, he will be joining us. And yes, once he joins, it all starts with your induction process, publishing the induction schedules within the cross functions, like which role. It's not just for 1 to 2 years, it could be dedicatedly related to their certain department's induction itself. But when you hire senior managers or middle managers above role, it is all cross-functional induction process would go on. That is one thing that gives a holistic view for the new joiner in understanding his role in a better way. And it is always right for the person to understand the what is that org chart of the organization, and where his role will be in that org chart, to which business unit he belongs, and where his role, and why he or she was selected for that respective position, and what is the expectation of the role. Though we reiterate all these things before the interview process and all, it is always better to have an extended conversation on the thing. So it makes I think that is a hygiene. It makes a great impact. Like, how do we brush the teeth every day morning? Right. So setting the expectation or reiterating them, making him or her understand how he would be successful in that role, and how we can help him to be successful is what the candidate should get during the first 10 days of the period. And then comes your policy explanation process, the HR processes and all, and what are the automation tools that we are using. So what some things would be very critical. So you have to do this one means, so certain that expectations from the date of joining itself would make his or her job easy in the long run. Okay. And comes with the 30 days or the 45 days, 90 days assessment or 60 days assessment with the concerned reporting managers. And sometimes HR involving understanding how did something like whether he is able to correlate with the experience that he has previously attained, and what did he understand or learn something afresh after joining us. So all these things. So some people may come up and ask directly, and some people may not ask. So that silence should not be there during that period. Some hustling should be there always, and some buzz should go on. So I hope your question is answered.
Yes, absolutely. I think you gave a very detailed answer, Anita, in terms of both candidate as well as employee engagement. And you also emphasized on the need and importance of why candidate engagement is critical for any organization, and how we need to move from doing candidate engagement and then do employee engagement, and both hand in hand work towards building the
Yes.
culture of the organization. I think you summed it very well. Thank you so much for that. Based on your experience and the value that you bring to the organization, how do you think that technology has transformed human resources? I remember when I started my career, there was less of technology and a lot of more paperwork, and now that has changed over a period of time. So what are the other things you think HR has transformed with the use of technology?
I would say ease of the operational activities. That is the first thing that has got transformed to a lot of extent. Okay. And data transparency.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. That is one thing, because your time and attendance is visible to you all the time. Okay. And your leaves are visible all the time. And your other benefits and the perks that you are getting, they are visible. That is in before your screen all the time when you log in. Okay. And the accountability.
Okay.
So people they are accountable for their own actions. Right? So there is nothing like, there is no difference of opinion, because all the policies are by default integrated into the this HRMS portal and everything that we are using. Okay, so that is one thing that ease of implementation has increased a lot. But only the thing that during the technology days also, as I told you, some things needs to be reiterated all the time.
Right.
So the value comes out, or the employees will really understand the importance of why the policy has been set up. They should understand the purpose of it. If that purpose needs to be driven means, okay, so somebody can come and ask you why I have to come by 9:30 only. I'll come by 10:30 and I'll come up work up to 7:30, he may say, or okay, but all the team will be coming by 9:30. So he alone cannot work. So it's a collaborative work. Some things needs to happen rather than the individual activities and all. So the purpose needs to be identified and it needs to be reiterated so that it gets into the minds of each and every individual. And that's when the policy reiteration sessions or the policy implementation, these can create a great impact onto the minds of the people. That's when it is easy for them. And apart from this, when we are driving all these things in one side, performance visibility is one thing that immediately crops up. When all these things are aligned, your performance also is clearly visible. And we have a clear metrics for every individual, every employee now for any role it is. What are their KPIs? How they are able to achieve it? Whatever they do, whether they are achieving that or not. If they are not able to achieve it, it is clearly visible on their PMS. We go for the quarterly assessments, Surekha.
Okay.
Okay, so for every 3 months, employee will be assessed and their rating will be clearly visible out of scale of 10. What is that he or she has scored and what are the improvement areas? So that's how we goes on. And as a HR professional, as all these things got automated, we can think of some innovative aspects on how more the employees can be engaged. Okay, so you can think about something innovative. Like how do you engage the people? So all the engagement activities that we do, I mean, I'm not talking about these birthday celebrations and the festivals and all, but something, if we are working on a certain project, what are the inputs that we have to get from the team members? And we can concentrate on some other projects into the HR projects itself. Okay, if the KPIs of the certain team members are not so practical, we are not able to get the correct results. Can we do something by sitting with the leadership team, understanding with the respective functional head on? Can we modify this? Can we make some changes towards those so that it is more transparent? So these kind of innovative thoughts and the performance visibility also will be very clear when we automate this process and when technology pops up into our policy activities and all. And other than that, we also have automated our employee pulse surveys.
Okay.
Okay, and the exit management process, exit interviews, all these things. So it is all nothing like sending an emails or talking to the employees over phone or sending the follow-up mails. All these extra tasks and follow-up tasks has got reduced by default. So it's all automated. When you want to clock in, by default, you'll get a reminder like your pulse survey is yet to be done. So you can complete that within just 1 second. It will not take more than 1 second. You complete that and then you clock it when you start your day. So we can analyze that data. We can understand, okay, where these, which set of employees are not much engaged, why they are not engaged, what kind of activities we can conduct for them. And ours is a diversified team, we say. So we have most of our around 75% of our team members will be working at the client locations.
Okay.
So they don't come down to the office. So the engagement on activity for them will be different. Sometimes it may start at morning 8:30 only.
Correct.
With a small meeting get together followed by a breakfast. Such kind of engagement activity will be there. And sometimes dedicatedly for them only, we have to do some policy reiteration activity.
Correct.
So it varies for us all the time.
Great. Anitha, I think you showed us a good balance of how technology can help in terms of saving time, as well as you shared the importance of, though it helps, redundant doing of repetitive tasks, there are some things that we need to do physically, manually, and the impact that that has is much more than an automated system. I really like the way, you combined both and shared examples in both areas. And this brings me to the last question of our podcast today, which is, I would like you to advise our, new set of Gen Z or anyone who's interested in the field of HR, how should their career graph be or what they should do if they want to grow in the field of HR?
First of all, they should understand they should not come into HR by accident. With the purpose and passion, they have to come enter the HR field, right? That is more important. So why they want to get into HR is one thing that they have to identify. That is one thing, and that comes with the passion. And one thing I would say, there is no business without customers, and there is no organization without employees. So this is the first thing that any HR professional needs to remember in whatever activity that they do,
Absolutely.
whether they are from talent acquisition or from the compensation and benefits team or from the other teams. Because it all, any people problem is the business problem ultimately. It converts like that. It
Absolutely.
starts with a small bit and it becomes a bigger thing. So that is the thing, first thing that they have to understand. And the other thing is not restricting their domain to just one thing. It could be mm, somebody could say it is only HR operations, and some people will say, I see some of the profiles who work continuously for years as recruiter or talent acquisition professionals itself. Why don't they come out of that cage and explore other things? So understand each and every aspect of the HR. That's when you add value to the organization. And other than that, building their stature for the role, whatever they do, that is more important, and creating their own stamp in their role. So if it is done by somebody, means yes, this is the stamp of that person.
Correct.
So people needs to identify that. So that's what I can tell.
I
And
totally.
always upskilling themselves. So integrating many of the things nowadays with the artificial intelligence, not just sticking on to the old methods or the conventional methods. So upskilling themselves. So understanding the global market, what is their business in the global market, how they have to upskill themselves related to that is the crux for any role, not just for HR, but anyone.
Thank you so much, Anita, for that. In fact, I so very resonate with every word that you said for this answer. I remember my first boss in TCS, and it was a new role. It was called a digitization team. And when I
Okay.
came back home, I said, I'm into HR digitization. And
Mm-hmm.
all my friends didn't know this term of digitization. And they all said, in HR, you only hear of, talent acquisition, recruitment, comp and ben. From
Mm-hmm.
where is this new role that you have come? You're just wasting your time after your MBA school. And I said, no,
Okay.
but it's fun. It's something new. See, you don't
Mm.
know something, and I'm going to learn about it. Right. So I was super excited for that role. And that role made me the person that I am today in terms of experience with diverse teams that I could connect, because I was making products for HR users. So I would interact with the comp and ben team, I would interact with the PMS team, I would interact with the TA team. So I had connections across TCS with different teams because I was making products that they would use. And that kind of experience made me realize the importance of what you rightly said. Don't stick to one profile, understand different profiles. And post that, I made it a conscious effort to understand various profiles in the short tenure that I had in TCS, which is what has helped me grow as an entrepreneur right now at Leap On Board. If you're excited to know more about candidate and employee engagement, do reach out to us at leaponboard.com.